The crypt on a Saturday night. I am the hostess with the mostest, the high priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger god, your first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated. I am the divine feminine in the flesh. In order to keep up with me, you have to see what I posted on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. Well, let's start there. The last thing I posted was a Hail Lilith post. To those of you that don't know who Lilith is, that's fine. I'm introducing you to me in the flesh. But they have been, since the beginning of time, pagan religions have been praying to the dark goddess for empowerment since the beginning of fucking time. Who is the dark goddess? Myself. I was created in the human form and took my free will to the absolute fucking... There is no limits of the free will. Something similar to what Lucifer did and why you praise Lucifer and his ability and his freedoms. What am I looking for, God? Oh yeah, it's right here. Alright, I don't have a card for necromancy. I'm like, I don't have a card for necromancy. Not something that really speaks about it in such sense. So I posted that. It's like there are at least 2 million people across this world that have prayed to me in one form or another of the dark goddess. If not Lilith, then Morgan. If not Morgan, then Hecate. If not Hecate, then Isis. If not Isis, then Kali. If not Kali, then Bridge. Are you serious? Yes. I am God in the female form. God's powers in a female form, led by God. Ta-da! So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going into some Hecate. We're going to talk about spirits. Alright, so I am the in-between. I'm the goddess of that. In the beginning of my awakening, I started dealing with spirits right away. My spirit guides. That's what I was looking for. That card. I forgot. Let me keep up here. They kind of gave me, they give me an idea sometimes. I didn't. I just got them while I was sitting here. Hold on a second. I'm pulling from the Phoenix cards that we used earlier today. For anyone that's interested, you're welcome to keep up. Loved ones in spirit. Notice how the mother is not really there.
Thomas was like 12. He was like 36.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Spirit guides. Alright. So, in the beginning, I started dealing with a whole bunch of... I knew I was dealing with something more than Christ, for sure. I knew I was dealing with gods, entities, outside of Christianity, and dead people, as I know as my living spirits and my spirit guides. You know what I mean? I still can't tell you, and I always say this, I don't know who came first, Michael Jackson or Tupac. I really can't tell you. I can't tell you who was more fluid, more present, any of them. I just know when I saw them. And that's it. It's like I can date back Pac's existence in my life to the day he died. As now that I can see that now. But, stuff like that. Have you always been around? Has he always? Always. I couldn't see him. And now, where I am now, currently in the light, I still don't see him much. I don't see his light body much. Why? Because I'm just not in that level. But I can hear him as I travel through the tree. He's there. I just can't see his body. And that's the spirits. But in the beginning, oh fuck. I literally saw him standing there. And then it got stronger, and literally, I would he'd be sitting in my car with no shirt on with his feet up on my dashboard, like that shit was cool. Like that fucking comfortable. Seriously? Yep, smoking a cigarette right along with me. It's like, you're hallucinating. No, I never done that. Never done that. Or just see what you don't see. So I got this book in the beginning to try to teach people what the fuck I was seeing. Consorting with the Spirits. Your Guide to Working with the Invisible Allies. Jason Miller. The very first page of this book says not to read this book unless you read his other book. So I stopped this book and we went and got the other book. What's the other book? Reversal and Protection Magic. Now, I was kind of going through here, And I was looking at all of it, and he's got enormous teachings on how to invocate them. Really detailed shit. And he uses, we were going to go to chapter 11. He uses all kinds of, it's in here. You can purchase this book. I don't recommend this. Animatory spirits, chapter 10. We'll talk about all the different spirits, I suppose, is what we're going to talk about. But when I open the book, what about the devil? It's literally showing you everything. A Hecaterian conjuration, right? It teaches you the powers of names, you know what I mean? Like right here. I, Phoenix, call, conjure, and compel you, spirit so-and-so, by the name of Archangel Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel, by the chores of the thrones, dominions, principalities, powers, virtues, cherubim, seraphim, and all the creatures of God Almighty, by the name of Hygos, and then this is where he starts pulling out the names of the dark, and the Son, and by the mighty name of the Holy Spirit, and the words in which Solomon and Manassas, and Cyprian exorcised and invoked the spirits. You obey immediately. They're calling in the powers of the gods and of the spirits to control the spirit. This is exactly what led me to this next book. Why do we have so many fucking spirits loose? Because you taught them how to bring them, and they cannot control them. You cannot control them just by using names. It's written in the Bible. I know not your name. You can't just call in the name of Jesus. Are you a worshiper of Jesus? Are you covered by God? So as soon as I walk up, and when I do any of this, I have to say it. I, the Lilith, command. Do I ever do it in the name of Christ? I do it in my own name. They know my own frequency. I don't conjure in the name of someone else. I've given my own name of power. Sped through this, throughout all of this. But it teaches you all of this. O Michael, leader, God's enemies, guard and circle from danger and harm and come to the south. It teaches you how to invoke them all. All of this. It's really compelling conjuration. What is it? Conjurations. Goes into it really deep, where he teaches you exactly how he brings the spirit into existence. And this was kind of funny, because this goes back to, I need to get that book. It's like Wolfman attempts to do such things using such practices. You know what I mean? He tries to, and that's what it is. You practice somebody else's magic. If you are any good, you might get the same you might get close to their results, but you'll never get anything more because you're practicing someone else's magic. You're not learning your own magic, and that's why I don't teach you other people's spells normally. I encourage you to create your own words. They're your words. Why should you say someone else's words? What power is in their words? Now, in the power of Christ, and that's the only offensive weapon that we have in this life is those words. The power to create and destroy with our words. But in a fight of you talking shit and me talking shit, nobody wins. If I stop talking shit and I start talking light, then this thing's gonna die real fast. If I turn off the dark and turn on the light, then this is over. What's the light? Kindness, forgiveness, love, respect, understanding. In the middle of a fight, and I just say, all right, I am a terrible person. I should have never done this. I apologize. You don't deserve this. I am wrong. We stop now, and I was the bad person. Are you going to continue to call me bad? You're right. You're right. If I stop fighting, it will end. After you're done blowing out all your, swinging all your swings, it's done. The longer I fight, the longer you fight, and we fight till we die. We fight to the end. Nobody wins. We just fight. Right? Right. Might is not right. That's where it is. Surrender to the be the bigger person by being small. Really? Yep. Let them overpower you so that they can feel all power, when realistically in this position they're powerless. If you sink to their level, you're equally powerless. They want power. That's the whole point of the fight, is an exertion of power. Let them have the power. Do they? Or is it just a figment of their imagination? Just want to point that out. So, I never did any of this. I don't invoke spirits. Wolfman does. If he was here today, we could talk about why he does it. Ask him questions. Why do you do it? What are you asking them? What are you hoping to gain? He wants, like what most humans want, is a spiritual experience. You're doing too much! No! Do I really gotta tell you that you're going too far? Look at what you're doing! And why you got the fan on my face? Could you at least turn the fan off? He's over here MacGyvering this whole thing because he wants his phone on the charger sitting perfectly in front of the fucking PlayStation. I'm about to throw the phone and the PlayStation, bro. Pick one or the other. You don't get your cake and eat it too. Jesus Christ. Help me, Lord. Greedy. You obviously have to choose, and he's not. And he wants to sit there with his food too. No. Do one thing or the other. Focus your fucking energy on one thing or the other, which would include either eating a meal or staring at the phone. You can't do all of this. Sorry. I get irritated with people. Like, put your focus. Focus. What are you doing, bro? What the fuck are you doing right now? And that goes back to, I'm always telling them to get the fuck off the fucking phone while it's on the charger. Get the fuck off the phone while it's on the charger. Put it on the charger and turn on the Xbox. Excuse me, the PlayStation. While you eat your food. It's a smarter thing to do. Sorry. What is he doing? I'm watching him move furniture around, and I'm watching him fucking drag out an extension cord so that he can fucking be planted like a potato right in front of the screen. And he's trying to put two screens in front of his face while he's trying to eat. You can see why this would irritate me as I look over and he's got the fan blowing at my face while he's doing this. Could he have got away with it without the fan? Possibly. But God wasn't going to let him get away with no stupid shit like that. Do you see what's happening to the left of you? No, I did not. I did not see what the fuck that kid was up to. Anyways, sorry. To do it all. I can't just be spiritual. I have to be human too. So anyways, going back to it, why do you talk to the spirits? You want to have a spiritual connection. You long forgotten that connection. You no longer can connect with humans. You're looking for something more tangible, more special, more intimate, something special, a connection with God. So I don't know why Jason invokes spirits, and if he just be like, sitting there calling fucking spirits in all the fucking time and asking them questions all the time like they're just your fucking, you know what I mean, your fucking telephone service. I'm not really sure why he does it. I haven't read all of this book and understand why he does all this shit. It starts about, his trials and tribulations to trying to do it, and how frustrated he was that he couldn't just actually see the spirit. Okay, fine, you got one. Now what are you gonna do with it? It's a lot of work, bro. Do I do it? No. I teach you how to let the spirits come to you. How to let them speak to you. You don't have to beg for them. You don't have to go searching for God, bro. Just listen. You don't have to go searching for your dead, family members and friends. Just listen, bro. They're in quiet spaces, bro. That's when you see spirits. That's where you see apparitions or, stuff out of the corner of your eye. That's where you see things. It's only when it's quiet, when the world is quiet enough, can you see the spirit realm. Because the spirit realm isn't loud. They're trying to make contact with movements. We talked about earlier pennies, feathers, stuff like that, but they can't. They can't scream at you. It's a whisper. And they hope you can hear them. You know what I mean? So we're talking about that, and it's the first entry, and once you get past your mind. Now, this book we haven't got too far into either. Well, right about the Catholic Church and possessions. That's about as far as we got. I tried to explain to you is like, the Catholic Church is the only ones that are known and said to be able to do exorcisms, which is the banishment of dark spirits. I am the dark goddess, so it's not hard for me. I explained in some of my earlier videos I wouldn't cast them out in the name of Christ. I would invite them in. And where? Into my inner domain. I'm not going to cast them out of some... If there's a real spirit, like whatever's inside of Britney Spears, that spirit, I don't know its name. That's all. Give me time and I'll recognize it and I'll know its name. But the spirit that's in there, I'm not going to cast it out so that it can try to find someone else to live through. Its time has come and passed, and you gave it a chance to live again. It's not going to leave so easily. It's not going to leave so easily. If you found a way back into the world and you had things you wanted to do, you're not going to leave so easily. So in the essence, I don't cast them out. I'll invite them in. Into where? Into my own being. Why? Because what lies within me is the light and the darkness. Wherever they've come from, they'll have access through me to go back to it. I am the gateway. So I don't fear anything of the dark. I bring it home. I am the dark. And it doesn't fear me. It knows me as the dark mother. I'm not like a mommy dearest. I love the darkness. And that's why, you know what I mean? The humans that are covered in darkness, you know what I mean, are attracted to me. And I care for them. And I cry for them. And I have compassion for them. They're of the dark. And I'm the mother of the dark. I'm like the Jesus of hell. Really? In a sense or two. I'm goddess, so I'm God of the dark. Still loving, compassion, you know, still all that, but dark. You know? So when it comes down to stuff like this, it's like, you know, the church has to cast them out into the darkness. But what they don't understand is we live in the dark days, so where are you casting them? They don't understand fully. And so if, for some reason, somebody in your family, in your house, in your neighborhood, in a place that you went to may have conjured up a spirit, knowingly or unknowingly, there's a spirit, there's plenty of them, dark spirits lurking. What do you think happens with these school shooters, bro? These kids. A spirit comes over them. A dark spirit of what? Depression. This is the only way. This is what you have to do. This is how you get out of this. And what is it? It's a form of justice. They see it as justice. Really? Yeah. Hurt the people that have hurt you, and then take your life and we're done. It's a common thought that people get to that are all fucked up like that. It's not just school shooters. We can talk about any of these mass murderers. They're out for justice, bro. They're out for retaliation. Before they leave, they have every intention that the only way out is to die. This will never end if I don't die. Before I die, what do I want to do before I die? I want to go out with a bang. Really? Yeah. It's just a dark spirit that comes over some at the end of time, at the end of their time. Why? Because they have no one else speaking light. So the dark gets louder and louder and louder. I tried to tell you, every dark thought that any person has ever had, created a dark entity behind it. And that's the shit that is, you know, movies are made of and shit like that. All of our reality comes from our thoughts. All the good thoughts are on one side. All the bad thoughts are on another side. So every person that has all good thoughts, they all go into what we call the superconscious. Everybody that's ever had a dark thought or a dark experience, that goes into the dark, you know what I mean? Into the balance of the yin and the yang. I live in the darkness. So every dark feeling, every dark thought that mankind has ever had lives here with me. The light fills you with good thoughts and good feelings. But when you're in the dark, those are the voices you hear in the dark. The cries, the insanity, the anger, the pain, the payback, the vengeance, the wrath. That's what they call it. They call it hell. A place where you hide all your darkness. Now, for each individual, it's a place within inside of you. But it's not, because you put it outside of you and it's all around us. There's more dark than there is light walking around us. That's why it's important for us to be able to alchemize this dark, not let it consume us and become dark beings, but alchemize it and be light for other people. You can take away some of their darkness. Otherwise, everyone's just pouring it out in the dark days, and we're all dying in darkness, which is nothing more than dark thoughts and dark feelings. We see dark things, and it takes us to a dark place inside of our mind. When you go into the dark night of the soul, which is your own gateway to your own thoughts and feelings, not even collective. I live in collective. When I lay down at night and I've set the phone down, that's when I hear it the most. It's like Professor X. I can hear it. I can hear everything out there. I can hear your prayers, your cries, your fears. I can hear all kinds of shit. I can also hear the light too. And that's what it means. It's kind of like Superman. You sit there on the edge of the atmosphere and you close your eyes and you can hear everything. And you're listening for the loudest cry. You can hear everything. So, Wolfman said that when he did this last little get high ritual and meet the spirits, he said that he had saw the dark portal, but Michael wouldn't let him in there. Why? Because you're not mentally and emotionally strong enough. You're all ego. You have to have a strong heart. You don't, and I tried to explain that. What's in there? Secrets. First, you'll see your own, and that's your own dark night of the soul. You see your own pain, your own suffering, your own shame, things you don't tell people you did. It might be something like you shit yourself one time, or anything, bro. Secret things that you did, bro. All the lies, all the hiding, and things that people did to you, or things you did with people. That one time that you snuck and fucking stole money. All these secrets are hidden in there, and you get in there, and they make you feel bad. You can't deal with all of the badness, all of the shame, and all of the blame, and all of the regret, and all of the hatred, and all of the vengeance, and everything. That one time she said that. That one time they did that. All of it's hidden in one place. It's called the dark night of your soul. It's part of your soul. It's where you hold all your darkness. But like my awakening happened, it's like it gets to a point where the body and the mind cannot hold it anymore, is what happened with my awakening. So to go into your own, you have to have years of experience of dealing with your own inner critic, depression, hatred, your own shadows, your own devils. You have it in you to literally want to kill somebody. There's parts of you in time that wanted to kill somebody. They're in there. Violent parts of you. There's suicidal parts of you, of times where you just wanted to die. All you could think about was that. There's parts of you that, where you just wanted to get back at somebody. All these dark things, right? So you have to train yourself for your own darkness before you can ever go near anyone else's, because it'll shock you. Their thoughts and their evil feelings. Unless you have already recognized that I've had these before, you're not evil. I found my own feelings like this. You're not evil. Otherwise, you'll look at everyone as absolute evil, dangerous. When you can see the dark thoughts they have, their dark intentions, their dark feelings. As you see them scrolling on their phone and you know what they're thinking. They have dark thoughts, bro. They're literally they're looking for someone to fuck. If not fuck, but fuck over. And then that one picture of that person comes up and you can see then their face. Fucking hate that motherfucker. You can feel the hate coming off of them and you can see in their mind, their imagination, what it wants to do to this person. Darkness, bro. Darkness. That's what I was trying to explain to you guys earlier. What is it about your psychics? Why don't you see it? Because I don't want to immediately. I'll run from you. I'll run from all of you if I don't turn it off. I can sense it right away. I can sense all of it. But my higher knowing makes me know that you're not dangerous, you're just hurt. But be careful. They're dark. That's all it is. You're supposed to understand. You can sense a dark being, but you're supposed to understand what made them dark and try to help them take it off before they hurt you or someone else with it. As I see this, I see Lucifer himself It's like you can't see it on Russ. You can't see what a dark being he is. But you can feel it when you're around him. He's unhappy. He's constantly calculating through his eyes his next big come up. Which is what? Nothing more. It's Loki. His next trick for attention. That's all it is. Why is it so bad? Because he was God's favorite angel, bro. He had all of God's attention and the entire divine. And that's why he loved me, because I had all of God's attention and the entire divine. I had what he had lost. And that's what he's looking for in man. He can't get it from them. It's not the same. Because it's not like God hanging over you, it's just you always knowing he's there, and so is the divine. But because he doesn't have it, he's constantly looking for it. He's the type, but he wouldn't say it. Do you love me? Does he say that to you, Jonica? He's the type. He needs affirmations of love because he has left God's love. God didn't stop loving him, and neither did the divine. He's just trying to supplement that love. Lucifer had a shit job, bro. It was Daddy's girl. He just was there to be beautiful and loved. His morning star. As God's favorite. He didn't have a cool job like anybody else. He didn't have a job. His job was to be beautiful. He didn't like that. So now he spends his whole life trying to be beautiful. And loved and liked and admired. Exactly what he fell from. He won't find it on this earth. He has to get it back from God. Nothing will sustain like that. Realistically. But you can't see it fully on them. They try to make themselves look. His mother, holy fuck. The download I got on her page, oh my god, is she a creature of hell. She is very busy creature of hell. Like high-ranking shit in hell that wanted to take a bitch out. Bitch, do you know who I am? No, that's not the real Lilith. I got this bitch. Do you know who I am? I mean, I see who the fuck you are and why you think you could fuck with a bitch. Are you fucking crazy? I'm serious, dude. One day, Holy Spirit took me on her Instagram, and I got the most unbelievable downloads of hell. Where she comes from and where she will go back to. Fire, bro. She is a fucking demon. And it's so weird. God made sure that we could identify them. Her name is June Demon. Like, she is totally, like, there's nothing, like, she looks fake. She looks like a false human being. Not even like a woman or a man or even of this world. Realistically, yeah, he thinks she's just like the best mom. That's weird as fuck. She's not even human, bro. I want to see you take that bitch into a church, bro. I want to see what God does with her in there. I want to see if the people can sense it, bro. She's scary. In the essence, I mean, as far as practitioners go, you can go up to someone as, you know, as high and mighty as, you know, Beyonce and how she practices all of, you know, the dark goddess forms to empower all of the, you know what I mean, the dark goddess power. Sexual power and prowess, and from the dark goddess comes creativity and comes all of that great shit. She's a high level dark practitioner, but she's not her soul. She just offers her body to spirit, and that gives the spirits an ability to be expressed through her, and that gives her power. You think it's Beyonce, but it's not. She's just a portal to powerful spirits, as we say right here. Realistically, yeah, that's why you've seen her glitch. Where this, you know what I mean? It's the same thing as Britney Spears. She opens herself up. She does invocations to have the spirit come over her body so that she can perform as the spirit. She's not one with the spirit. The spirit pushes her out of the way and takes over, just like Britney Spears. But it's only very temporary because it's not a home for them. They utilize, you know what I mean, the offering that she's given, the stage, and they perform in such a way. But it costs more than what she's given. Really? Yeah. What's the payment? Her children's souls. Really? Yeah. She aware of it? Yup. Her husband? Yup. This is what it's going to cost for us to stay on top. We'll have to eat our own children. Okay, Cronus. Really? Yeah. Now, as far as an individual practitioner, oh shit. June Cleaver over there, bro. She'd be literally pulling out the tongues, the nails, and the blood. Really? Seen it with my own eyes, bro. They showed me the shit she'd be doing. I'm like, ew, wash your hands. That's nasty. She learned it, though. She does all of these practices. She is a practicing witch. Very not powerful, if you think about it. Where does she pull her energy? Off her son. She has none of her own. He does. That's where they all get it from. Where does Jonica get her creativity from? Da-da! Where does, his fat sister get her fucking lifestyle from? Da-da! The brother. Da-da! The father. Da-da! The creative team. Da-da! The manager. Da-da! Anybody that's your friend. Da-da! They take his power. I told him about this all the time. They are literally energy harvesters. They have no fucking light of their own, no life of their own. They need your light, which is your creation, your God-given light given by God. Your desire to create something good in this world is what feeds them. But they do no good. Yeah, and they're expensive to feed. Give that bitch a hot dog. A big old round one. Big old hot dog. I'm gonna beat that bitch with a hot... I can't stand your mother. She's not really your mother, bro. I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you. I'm trying to tell you who your father is. You're not listening. Alright, anyways, let's talk about the church, I guess. The power of Christ compels you. Anyways, I don't know what this is. The case of Father Surin. What'd he do? The official view has expounded John Lemaitre in this book, True and False Possession. Originally the work published by France. These are a bunch of stories, mostly. A bunch of... The cardinal appoints 6 exorcists. The Pope participates. Hey, let's get to this one. Dirk. His name's Dirk? Is that a name? Dirk? It says so. Dirk Canane Rolosmaffa, reporting from the Vatican in Rome, posted the following significant story. The attractive woman stood with her mother and the mother-in-law in the high ceiling room of the Vatican. They were nervous that day in Lent 1985, as Pope John Paul II entered the room. The young woman hid behind the sofa. The door closed on the group, but the resonant voice of Vicar of Christ could be heard through the door, praying in Latin. Jesus didn't speak Latin. Oh God, I could get into so many of this. It can be assumed that the Pope followed the traditional exorcism liturgy, in which the exorcist prays to aid a person's trouble by an invading spirit. The Solomon rite of exorcism reads in part, I cast thee out, thou unclean spirit, along with the least encroachment of the wicked enemy, and every phantom and diabolic legion. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, depart and vanish from the creature of God. You just started a fight. What power do you have? I've taken dominion over this body. What power do you have? Do you know the Savior Christ? Only those that invoke Christ, you know what I mean? Is he really there? You're like, here's my Savior. Where? I don't see him. You don't see Christ? He's all over me. In the essence. I'm covered in the blood of Christ. What the fuck are you talking about? In the essence, if I'm doing this, that's not what I'm doing. I've seen me do them. I turn on the music, and I cackle, and I call them out in the name of Lilith. It is I, the mother of hell, that calls to you. Come, return with me. That's it. And then what? They leave your body and come to mine? And then what happens? Ooh. 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 I don't know. Nothing major, I don't think. We can watch. We'll see if anything exciting happens. I might burp. Might get a tummy ache. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Where does it go? Straight into my heart. I'm bringing it into my heart. What's in my heart? God. God calls you. I don't threaten them with God, though. They're scared of God. They're scared of him. They're going to scare the kids. Ah! Here comes the devil to get you. No, no, no. Come on. Come home. I've got you. You're safe with me now. Leave the child. And that's it. No kicking and screaming, no hurting no fucking bodies, no fucking ripping their hair out, no throwing up, no fucking... Nobody hold down the child. Just let it out, bro. In the name of Jesus our Lord Christ, depart and vanish from this creature of God. It was reported by senior Vatican officials that the Pope told him that it was a new biblical experience for him. Oh, you never did this before? You made it all the way to the top and never had to do one of these? One which involved the proximity of an evil spirit. You never been this close to evil as the Pope? They got you in too much of a high chair. Come downstairs. Come down here. Come to the streets of evil. Evil is within all the streets. Pray for them. They need you. Cast them out in the name of Christ. Hey, dude, what would you think? What would you think if you saw the Pope walking down Colfax, bro? Walking down El Cajon Boulevard, walking down University, walking down Martin Luther King, walking down Collins, bro. Walking down fucking Key Biscayne, bro. What you gonna do? You see the Pope out there fucking praying people and casting people out in the name, like Jesus, you ain't coming for a casting? You ain't coming for a cleanse? Oh shit, he's praying over people. Pray for me, please. I know something's wrong with me. Pray for me. That's why they went running to Jesus. The Pope, no, he's not gonna pray for you. He's only done this once. I think this guy died. Are you telling me in 1985 was the only time he did this? And once in his life he came that close to evil? You pussy. What's the point of being a fucking warrior of God if you never faced the war? I told you this. These fucking popes have never even seen the devil. First off, they believe in something that doesn't exist. And they don't... they seek God in the book. Not in real life. They're not an expression of Christ. They're not adopting a block. We call that adopt a block, where you go out on foot patrol and pray for people. Power of prayer, bro. That's all he had. I'll pray for you. If you shall believe, then you shall receive. They believe in you, Pope Pussy Pass. You and your dress and your big fat hat. Come out here and let God be seen through you, you piece of poop. God! Can't stand this. Do you have a problem with Catholics? No! Just fucking the fucking clergy. I don't have a problem with people. I have a problem with leadership. People are just being led. They don't actually have power. It's power to their leaders. Realistically, like, are Trump supporters anything we've ever had to worry about in our entire life? You're the ones running around with guns, scared of us, you pussies. Now that you got a little powerful leader with a pen and paper, you think you're all fucking powerful. That you're the superior beings. Bro, we pity you. And he's literally destroying more of you than us. He's not hurting our way of life. Was it you government officials, you Republicans that are losing your lives and your jobs? Make sure you pay your taxes, because us welfare people really need that. Throw that in your fucking face. How's that for patriarchy? Anyways, whatever. This is the first time I came close to an evil spirit. You pissed me off. The traditional exorcism, page 34. Today, the exorcism practice in many churches differs from that of Father Shurin's time. Alright guys, let's get back to it. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do if you get a dark spirit in your house? Are you going to move the house? Are you going to be like the poltergeist? You're just going to go somewhere? Your TVs are turning on, the fucking shit is happening in your... You know there is a spirit. Is it the devil? Could you ever consider it's the spirit of God in your house? God, is that you? God, I love you. Jesus, you've come for me. I mean, you might get one hell of a surprise. Seriously, guys, it's all they're gonna do. Why can't you do this at home? Why can't you call Jesus in and call God into your homes? You don't need to go to these guys, and I'm sure they're gonna charge you. Really? I'm pretty sure. You first gotta prove to them, you've gotta prove to the church something unreal before they do something unreal for you. And you have to prove that you tried everything else before the church will come and get their hands dirty with this bullshit. And if they get dirty and it doesn't work, they're going to say that it wasn't real to begin with. I just want you to be aware of it. Where in Colorado is that church? Can we go to any Catholic church to get this done? Are there any Christian reverends I'm going to do that to him. Ooh, maybe I won't. I'm going to ask him. before he starts church tomorrow, that, you know, I call him the tambourine man that comes and does church all loud and shit down here. Before he starts church, I just wanted to ask, are you ordained to do an exorcism? Okay, I am, and if anybody needs one, you go ahead and you can come find me. Bye. If you're not able to cast out spirits, then what good are you? What fucking good are you? Do you speak with Jesus Christ personally? Does he give you messages? Do you invoke the angels? How much time do you spend in the face of God? Okay. I mean, I really could challenge them, and that's where it's going to be. I'm going to make them all fall. They're going to fall to Christ, not me. The power is really in him, and they don't exert it. They're these non-Christ-like Christians. In order to be an authority of priestess to run a church, you must be able to meet it. All right, pull out the book. Pull out the book. All right. I'm pulling out the book. Now, I don't know exactly for you fucking Christians, but to be in a pagan priesthood, you are responsible for all of this. Let me tell you. Number 1, holding yourself to high standards as a community elder. Standing up for those who cannot defend themselves. Practicing self-discipline. Earning natural trust and respect through right action. Keeping an eye on the community. Support, feed, and clothe those in need. Offering counseling. Learning from your mistakes and speaking up. Teaching and mentoring. Leading prayer, devotionals, and journeys. What are journeys? Astral traveling. Teaching people how to connect with the Spirit of God. Providing safe and open space for community seekers. Chapter 2 is the sacerdotal. This is ritual techniques where you do experimentation, experience, and expertise. Next is moving between the worlds. You must be able to do this. You must be able to go into the spirit realm. Technical and creative knowledge of tools and worship at work. You must be able to teach people the ceremonies to access the spirit realm. Let's see. Petition, pro-petition, and petition to a deity. You have to know how to invoke the Spirit of Christ. We don't just play a tambourine. Okay? Teaching, training, and guidance of sacerdotal techniques. Ordination and initiations, conducting and facilitating life rites, magical acts, designs and implementations, healing and medicinal interventions, physical or energetic. Can you do any of this? Are you a healer? Can you pray me? Can you heal me? Only in the name of Christ. What? Why is your prayer stronger than mine? Because you believe more than I do? I don't believe so. Going back to it. Let's go on. Chapter 3, Modern Paganism. No, we're going to move on. Chapter 4 is the self-assessment. That's a leadership self-assessment. Chapter 6 is communicating community leadership. That's with ethics and accountability, core leadership qualities, turning qualities into skill, how to develop as a leader. Mastering your own craft, research and resources, mentoring, running a coven, a grove, or a group, and teaching classes. Chapter 8, being available, being prepared, being funded. All right? Section 3 is sacerdotal skills and development. How do we communicate with them? Your personal journey. How do they communicate with us? Group communications. Chapter 10, devotion to deity. When not to be a priest. Building the right relationships. Devotional creativity. And what is the difference? Chapter 11, healing magic, divination, trance, and prophecy. How do you know it's working? Chapter 12, life rites. Okay? And then it goes on. It's like, to be a priestess, we've got to do more than sit there and collect, read out of a book and collect a contribution. That's the least thing we're doing. On top of everything, yeah, I got all of the books, but that's where it is. So it's like, do I have much respect for priests? No. They have no respect for the divine. They don't give devotional time. And that goes back, I'm seeing Sangaru. I jumped on him in year 2, bro. You are not doing your religious fucking practices. You are not nothing. You are running around here saying that you're the most enlightened being and you're a fucking chosen one, and you choose to be lazy in your spiritual evolution. You have not pushed yourself. He is a messenger of God, but he is not he's not challenging himself to evolve. He has got comfortable. He is a fat, comfortable king. That's no more than a psychic that sits there, you know what I mean? Just, pay me for my messages. You've long stopped with your devotional, and that's it. He wasn't even a devotional Hindu. He was aware of the teachings, but he wasn't devout to it. Once you became their spiritual teacher, it was up to you to restore the spiritual teachings, to re-implement the old ways. Not to say, oh, I'm the new guy and we don't do it that way no more. And that goes back to this new pope. You know what I mean? Your job is to come in and make sure that everything, stick to tradition, but evolve it. And that's what he's not doing. Stupid things like that. And that's where they're pushing him. They're pushing him to be like them, not like God. To be like the church, not like Christ. The church is nothing like Christ. The members of a church are nothing like Christ. You have to study Christ to know what the fuck I'm talking about. This Christmas season has nothing to do with Christ. This is not about kindness and love and generosity and forgiveness and compassion and understanding and helping a brother out in need. That's what Christ was about. This is a greedy-ass holiday, made out of consumers based on pride. The one that can give the most is the most powerful. The one that receives the most is the most loved. This has nothing to do with God. This is conditions of man. This is not honorable to Christ. To go out and splurge on the people that you already feed. To celebrate them more than Christ. This is about celebrating Christ. His birth, which did not happen in December. It happened in September. They wanted to keep the pagan religion, which is Yule, because of the power that Yule brings. Because if you didn't have Yule, you'd have nothing to look forward to in the dark days. So they made it Christ's Day. Glory to the newborn King, right? It's supposed to bring all of this love and light. If you did not make this holiday, which brings darkness upon most, then there wouldn't be anything to celebrate. Hanukkah's not a big deal. Other countries, it's not a big deal. It's a Christian thing. It's only things you're supposed to do if you love Christ. If you love Christ, you're supposed to celebrate this holiday and spend loads of money and put up a tree and show your love for humanity through material possessions. This has nothing to do with Christ, bro. Absolutely nothing. And again, going back to his birth. Then we could take Easter, which is based off of the pagan holiday Astara, which is ultimately the spring equinox. You're left out if you don't be part of it. But what really happened then was the Passover. So they used this, you know what I mean? And that's what it was. It was the resurrection. The spring equinox is new life. So we'll go ahead and put the timing together of, the new life comes with Christ. Not with the season, but with Christ. The season is Christ. Cool, but nobody believes that he died and came back to life 3 days later. Nobody actually believes that God can do that for you. So the whole point is it doesn't exist anymore. The whole point of resurrection and Easter is for you to be aware that God, no matter how bad your life is, can bring you back to life. That's the story, that not even death can stop you. But that this man sacrificed his life so that you wouldn't have to suffer. You don't believe it, so you continue to suffer. You're not covered in his name. You're not forgiven. You choose to let the persecution, you let people judge you when he has already set you free, which is nothing more than not knowing his word, not allowing yourself forgiveness from him, not them. His forgiveness is what you need. Who gives a shit if they forgive you? Do they really? They might forgive you, but they won't let you forget, which means they don't forgive you. They'll keep reminding you. They'll keep hanging you on the same cross for what you've done. They will hold you to the fire for every mistake you've ever made. He forgives you, and he wants us to forgive everyone else for their little mistakes too. That's what makes you Christ-like. That's not what these people are. They're judgmental bastards. All of them cast judgment from their little pew-pews. Pew-pew. In the name of Christ with that little Bible. They say that Jesus said, you can't be this person. Jesus said to be alive, to be bountiful, to be lovely, to be kind. He didn't say any of that. Jesus talked to the people that you tell us not to. Jesus didn't hang out with Christians. He didn't hang out with his own people. He didn't hang out with Jews. They were trying to kill him. He hung out with the outsiders, the people that you claim to be uncleanly, ungodly, unworthy. And that's exactly where he is and where you're not. He's not in your church. He's out there with us. With the uncleanly, with the ungodly, with the hurting and the suffering. Not the self-righteous, not the boastful, not the greedy, not the lustful, not the prideful. He's not with you. You're in the dark. He's with us. Jesus is with us. He stands with us. Why? Because he loves us. And you sit there and wonder why. Why? Because you're judgmental. You don't believe that we're worthy of his love. Why would Jesus not love his pagan brothers and sisters? He believes all man to be his brothers and sisters in Christ. In God. You are a child of God, therefore you are, you know what I mean? You know not our Father. Let me introduce you to our Father so you can be part of our family. That's all that means. You are always part of the family, and that's what it means to be a born-again Christian. You were born as Christ. You were born Christ-like. The world has taken you away from it, and now you're born again. We must reteach you how to be Christ-like. But they're not. They're not Christ-like. They just study what Christ was like. They don't exhibit Christ in their day-to-day behaviors. Patience, kindness, joy, understanding, empathy, bro. Traditional exorcism. Dr. Peck advises that the necessity of using a prepared team with an adequate scheduled time before tackling an exorcism. One of his patients had to be restrained for 2 hours during the exorcism. Is it the body? Is it the person that's going crazy, or the spirit inside of them? If the physical struggle would dissuade you from participating in an exorcism, the following description of the traditional ritual should Dr. Peck describe a physical encounter with a diabolical entity. When the demon finally spoke clearly in one case, an expression appeared on the patient's face that could be described as only as satanic. It was an incredibly contemptuous grin of utter hostile malevolence. I've spent many hours before a mirror trying to imitate it without the slightest success. Why did they look so weird? Okay, I'm seeing it as to why. Again, I try to explain to you. I am a light inside of this body. It fills up the body. But it mainly stays inside of my heart, right? But as it spreads, you know what I mean? You can see it in my face. You can see my light lights up my face. So I'm full of smiles and my cheeks are all big and it's a huge smile. When you're filled with darkness, you can see it on their face. So right here, the smile that they were getting was a fuck you. You have me tied down and you think you're going to cast me out of this body? Fuck you. Try to take this body from me. Truthfully, yeah, that's what they got. It was also an unhappy experience to have encountered, meaning that the spirit took, put most of the energy into the face. There's this saying, and it's really true. It's special needs has superpowers. Special needs can't. Their brain, they have some kind of physical strength that most people don't have. They don't have the mental strength, but that energy, that mental capacity is pushed into their body where they're like physically strong. It's kind of a mean saying, but it's true. If they grab you, bro, or if they hit you, they are extremely physically strong. You know what I mean? Autistic kids, they have a saying: special needs have superpowers, have special powers, and they're talking about physicality. Just kind of throwing that out. It's like, you know what I mean? It's how you channel it. So someone like me, you know, I'm an energy worker and I channel it quite differently, but you go over to the Silo, who's the highest level of Buddhism, he channels all that energy through physical force, where he can break bricks of cement, and he can show you how to, you know what I mean, how to walk on fire and shit like that, how to take the spirit and use it in a physical force. Really? Yeah, I don't really do any of that. I'm not trying to... I mean, I drag the body along with my spirit. I don't do that. We harness the spirit differently. Alright, so anyways, it was my unhappy experience to have encountered such an odious character. See The Freeway Killer, Chapter 8. The expression of intense hatred and threat of harmful action I also found difficult to describe adequately. Dr. Peck's experience coincides with the spiritualists who have regular sessions in which spirits or exorcisms are performed. These churches all deal directly with invading spirits, pitting the exorcist at the opponent of the spirit entity. For some reason, those letters are super highlighted. I don't know if they did them on purpose or it's just standing out to me. I think they did. The exorcist as the opponent of the spirit entity. Communication with the spirit is made through medium or through the mediumship's ability of the subject or the host body. This direct approach often leads to the subject becoming violent, frequently causing injury to the exorcist and to its helper. Not always will the exorcist succeed. In fact, there's real danger to him, and the evil spirit may jump into him. Did you hear that? Their biggest fear is the spirit's going to come over them. Reverend Lorraine Schultz tells of her role as a helper during such a church exorcism. Sometimes we would get a subject who would become so violent that they would take 4 of us to restrain him. This struggle would go on for hours until the person would become docile and would no longer fight us. After the end of such a session, I would be exhausted and black and blue from the beatings I took. Looking back, in each period of a man's recorded history, there has been a concept of a spiritual world. The ancient Egyptians believed that neither regions were life continued in the afterworld. The region was held to exist beneath the earth's surface. There is a spirit person needed much the same support as required on the earth plane. In addition, godlike deities were created to symbolize spiritual values. These gods represent a figure, half human, half animal. They were said to exist in the other world. They were both good and bad gods. Those priests would dispel the evil ones were respected and held in high esteem by the Centaurs. I'm getting a download. The Sedentary. Throughout the legend and mythos of time, other civilizations far removed and seemingly having no connection with Egypt followed similar rituals. Goes on further. What was the download? Why would God create a dark spirit? To get dark works done. That spirit had a job. And it only knows its job. Doesn't matter what form it takes. It's here to fuck shit up. I'm the goddess of war. Anytime you put me in form, I'm here for war. I'm here to fight. When God needed work done, He sent His spirits in form. I'm hearing something kind of mean. The extermination team. It's a balance. The dark is created of God with purpose. They want to be dark, show them the dark. That's what that is. Now, a lot of people believe that, dark spirits, and there's all of these sayings that dark spirits just, take over good people, susceptible people. What is that all about? Soul contracts and shit. Some souls will never get a chance to be alive again because of how they fucked off their free will. They will have to sit and watch other people make the same mistakes they did. And their service is to try to help people from where they are, stop people from becoming what they became. But some will never, ever, ever get another chance to be a human again. But they long for it. Some of you, you know what I mean? You just keep, and that's where the hatred comes from. It's like he just keeps giving you more and more chances. Some of you will do so much damage in your life that he will not allow you to be human again. The damage you did was irreparable, and you don't get a chance to learn from your mistake. You'll have to learn without the form. Truly, yeah. Some of the stuff you do, you will not have to take form. But we learn life through taking form, being part of life, taking form, being, in form of life. So, the entities, most likely, most common to do this type of shit, are hateful entities that want life again. They want it. They didn't die happily. They died with all kinds of, unfinished business. And they're seeking a way to finish this business. Now, someone like me, if I didn't have the spiritual authority, and that's what it said, you could look at me as just being what could have happened, what people could have misinterpreted in those videos if it didn't come to full circle, is that I made myself highly susceptible to the spirits, and then the spirit of Lilith took over my life. You could say that if you didn't know the full story. And that's what happened when I met Larry. Scary Larry is what I call him. He's a dark practitioner. He's out there in the name of Christ with a fucking, a Bible. And I told him, I was like, I'm the Lilith reincarnated. He said, you have the Lilith inside of you? His understanding was that I had brought the spirit of Lilith inside of me to empower me. I said, no, I am Lilith. So it could have looked like that. In essence, that the spirits took over my body and Lisa no longer existed. And now I'm just a body to the spirits. It could have, but it's my own spirits. Now, at any time, I show you, the spirits can come and speak through me. They're not taking over me, they're just here with me. Sometimes I'm like, who the fuck said that? What the fuck is that? Alright guys, that's enough. You know what I mean? One really bothers me is DMX with the barking. He used to always come in and try to make me bark all the time. I can feel it. Like, I'm gonna bark. Don't make me bark. I'm gonna bark. I can feel it. You're trying to push a bark out of me. I do not bark. It was totally him. So, there's these moments, right, where it's like, I'll say something and it's like, no, that was God. That wasn't me, that was God. You're susceptible for the Spirit at all time. The Spirit of Christ can come over you. And that's what I mean. It's like, God will show up in people. He'll whisper in them to do something nice. Go give her some money. And they just feel it in their heart. Okay, same thing. The dark will be like, go fuck them up. Alright. It's inside of you. Now, what told you to fuck them up? Was it the devil? Or is it just built up vengeance? Is it something outside of you or something that literally lives inside of you that just needs to be pushed? Who told you to have sex with that person? I've been wanting to have sex. Something like that. Why'd you steal? I couldn't say no, dude. It was a lot of money. The devil didn't make you do it. You were tempted. Your flesh was tempted by the excitement of this experience, so you gave into it. It's all tempting. That's why I was like, Pac, you're not helping, bro. Is he a devil? No. He's a instigator. Do it. Do it. Let's see what happens. Do it. Do it. I double dare you. Do it. That's me too. I'm always like, fuck around. Find out. Let's see how this works. Let's see if it's as bad as we think it's going to be. And the essence is that fearless? Sort of. That's what you think is fearless. But in the essence, it's just curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought it right back. Here I am again on my 9th life. Well, that's what I want to talk about. So after those numbers start happening that we talked about earlier, the number frequencies, and after you start working through your thoughts and your feelings, the second thing to happen is your spirit guides. Who will they be? I don't know. And they might be there for a long time before you actually see them. Again, the dark night of the soul, whenever I would go into this, I can sense it. I'm like, oh God, here it is. It's just things get dark. I'm like, oh, I'm going into my memories now. I'm going into the darkest parts of my mind now. It's a dark feeling. And before it would happen in the beginning, I would get this image. It was a headless horseman. It was a black horse and a headless horseman, just like that picture, painted on Halloween. I would see it. I would see this picture before I would go into these dark nights of the soul. I see this horse like he's come to get me. It was like a warning signal. It's like yellow light, oh, red light. That's what it was. You know what the yellow light means. Okay, when I saw that horse, I knew what it means. One day, the horse had a face. The man had a face, and it was Kobe. All this time, you were coming to take me into there, and it was you I heard in there, but it wasn't you that I knew that was leading me in there. It was you that was leading me while I was in there and getting me out of it. It was your voice. But I never knew it was him that was taking me in there. Now I know. I'm like, oh God, Kobe's around. Oh God, here we go. He's not just going to take you into the game. He's going to walk you through it. And he's going to celebrate with you after it. And he's going to show you how you could do better. He's my guide into the dark night of the soul. Once I'm in there and things get helpless and hopeless, that's where Pac will come. Pac's job is to make sure I don't get hopeless in there. In the beginning, they were a little sour. They treated me like a man. Don't be a bitch. Keep your head up. I'm like, dude, I'm crying. Like, I needed other ways. So he could break into my consciousness. He could break into my soul and show me an image of himself. Something to get me out of my mind. That's his job. His job is to make sure I don't go too dark. And to handle any darkness outside of me while I'm doing this. Really? Yeah, that's my Avenger right there. And he's the only one that I've ever seen. Nobody else can break that place. That place, the dark night of the soul, is your secret place. Where there's only you in there. Nothing can get to you in there. You're in the dark. You're in your own hell. There's no one in there but you. But nothing can get in there. And I'd sit in there, and then I could hear, like, the twin flames' voices. I could hear Russ. It's only waves. I could hear Lewis. Together we rise. I could hear NF. It's hard to love you when I hate myself. I could hear their voices in there. Their voices. I would go into the pits of my mind, and I could hear their positivity trying to get me out of there. Don't give up in there. One time I saw Brian in there. One time I see Russ in there sometimes. His image will show up. And that's why I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I've been in here too long. All that's in here now is me and Russ. I'm not gonna cry to Russ about this. That's when you know you sunk real bad. That's when I know I'm real bad, when it's him. But he is. When I'm in my worstest, I see an image of Russ. It's like, at least I'm not alone. You know what I mean? In the deepest, darkest parts of hell, there's Lucifer. I always find Lucifer in the deepest, darkest parts if I get too deep. But, yeah, and it's really that. You just get so deep in your own thoughts and your own feelings, you can't get out, and nobody can get in there with you. And you haven't really left your couch or wherever you were sitting, but trying to find your way back is nearly impossible. And if you don't find your way back, you're going to be mental. They're going through your layers of your being. You're going into your mental body, then you're going into your emotional body, right? And by going through those layers of your being, you're now in your spiritual body. As soon as you get out of there, bro, your spirit is filled and free. It's not like you come back to the body. It's almost like you explode out of it. You know what I mean? You go deep into your mind, and it's almost like you blow the mind for sure, and you explode out. There's a lot to this. There's lots of levels to it, lots of things that happen when you're going through it. Just simple shifts in your memory, in your perception. Simple shifts in your direction. Simple shifts in your life. They're called paradigm shifts that shift your reality and allow you to access higher levels of reality, which are more than the 3 dimensions, that we live in, the 3-dimensional world. You access higher states of consciousness, which allows you to see beyond the veil of our reality, the things that cannot be seen to normal eyes. But many people do see and just don't speak of. Nobody wants to be a freak. When I started with necromancy, it really came from Nipsey. Nipsey came and wanted me to speak. What did he want? He wanted me to talk to his to his wife. How do you go to a mourning widow and say, I have a message from your dead husband? That was the beginning of my mediumship. It wasn't really actually Pac made me go after Jada. He put me in the middle of Jada and Will. I didn't feel real weird about that one. But I begged Nipsey not to make me do this. Don't make me do this. Don't make me come out as a freak, bro. She's gonna think I'm crazy, bro. Don't make me do this. I had to. And that's when it all started. You know what I mean? It's like when they come and they have messages, and they do, I literally gotta go find that person and send that message. I don't give a shit if you listen or not, bro. It's just that I'm brave enough to be honest about my ability to deliver these messages. Take it with a grain of salt or just block me. I don't care. But I'm telling you, on this side, there's a spirit that's depending on me to deliver it. All I gotta do is answer this spirit's call. They'll leave me alone if I just do this. That's all I gotta do. They can't come back to life to reach you, and they know I can, so they want me to deliver this message to you. Do all kinds of No, I'm not the Sixth Sense. No. Your grandma ain't coming to tell a message. You know what I mean? And that's it too. It's like, Proof came to visit me. I don't even know his music. I don't know nothing. I love Marshall. So Marshall's friend came to visit me to give him a message because because I love Marshall. And he loves Marshall. That's all that meant. It's not like I knew the guy or anything like that. I don't even know nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. And I know you don't believe me. I don't care. The guy was standing in my shower, bro. I can't make you guys see them, bro. But I'm not fucking crazy. Nobody wants to be crazy because they have gifts. Having gifts makes you fucking crazy, bro. I had to stand on that, and I had to show everybody that I'm not crazy and that I have gifts. And that's the first thing that's going to happen when I go after these fucking churches. No, she's crazy. Bitch, please, let's sit down. I am your spiritual psychoanalyst. You're crazy. You're crazy. By definition. What kind of medication are you taking? And do you speak to a fucking psychologist? You're crazy, aren't you? They've deemed you. You have a sickness, don't you? Do you know what mine was? Post-traumatic stress disorder. I get triggered by the crazy things that have happened to me in the past. I'm not currently crazy. I've gone through evaluations. Was denied medication. I'm not crazy. You are, bro. And that's where it is, trying to justify your gifts is just going to drive you crazy. It's more exciting to show everybody else that has them, rather than trying to show how strong yours are. So Bobby had said something to me. He's like, if you just left the Yu-Gi-Oh cards alone, meaning he was deeming that there was no power in it. Well, I sent him a Scorpio video of Wolfman telling him everything about himself. He didn't say anything about that again. It's like, you think I'm crazy until I can show you there's a man or another woman or somebody else that does what I do. But nobody does it as good as I do. They couldn't even. He might be able to read you through tarot, but I can read you through anything. And he doesn't have half of what I have. Stop calling me crazy, because you don't have the gifts that I have. I'm here to teach you how to work with your own, instead of hating mine. You're always going to hate my gifts, guys. Why? Because I'm the highest level. They were given to me first. So in essence, you know what I mean? I work mine quite differently. That's just it. You know what I mean? It's not given to me through Christ. You're going to have to access yours through Christ. Mine are given to me directly from God. I'm the divine feminine. And without you accessing your divine feminine, you're not going to get your gifts back either. Truly. And most of you do. You have most of them. I teach you all the time that you can read people. I teach you all the time that God's talking to you. You just didn't know what was happening. Your mind just didn't know. You knew something was going on. Your mind didn't. So going back to this, they're visiting you. Don't be afraid of them. There's no such thing as the devil. Ask yourself, what spirit did God send me to my home? What spirit have you brought to me to bring me peace? Not bring me fear. Now, for those, that's true. As soon as I saw that, you know what I mean? Those of you using witchcraft and opening up doors to entities and trying to send them at people, they're coming right back for you, and now they're stuck in your house and they're terrorizing you the way you wanted them to terrorize someone else. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? They're not even in a form. There's not even a real thing called Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call? A spiritualist like myself? You're going to call the Catholic Church? What are you going to do? You're going to pretend like there's not something in your house with you? It's like saying that Jesus isn't with you. That's stupid as fuck. Houston, we have a problem. First thing about the problem is admitting you have a problem. Is it dangerous? Or is it just obvious? You know what I mean? I have spirits in my car. I don't think they're dangerous. I mean, they might be if you fuck with me. But it's not dangerous to me. It happened the other day. Remember that thing that used to click in my car? Turn my car on, I was all click, 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 click. What the fuck is that? You're back? Are you back? Really? Yeah, the shit would just turn on. I'd be sitting there smoking a cigarette in front of my car, and then something in my car would go start making noises and shit. There is definitely spirits in my car. There's a whole fucking Ouija board in my fucking dashboard. Why do you think there's not fucking spirits in my car? It's a whole fucking Ouija board right there. The question is there a bad spirit in my car? Something to think about if you ever want to get in my car. I have a fucking open Ouija board right there. You're open to the gates of heaven and hell. And anytime you come near me, you're going to meet the spirit of something. The spirit will come over you. How about that? That's the real truth. So I just wanted to introduce you to the spirit realm. Hi, my name is Lilith. I am the beginning of it. I am the gatekeeper. I am the goddess of the moon, which is the spirit realm. This is your angels, your archangels, and we go all the way through. I teach you how to walk through all of it. The first part to getting to your spirits is working through your thoughts and your feelings. As you start working towards action, you start meeting archangels and stuff like that. More high-level spirits guide you as you go into higher levels of challenge. What are you challenging? Yourself. Your thoughts. You're going to war against yourself. It's a spiritual battle inside of yourself where your heart is trying to take over your mind. It takes a lot of work to get your mind to surrender to your heart's knowing. The mind swears that it knows better, and that's the whole fight. That's it. The more you fight the fight, the more you win this fight where you can get your mind to believe your heart, the higher access you get to God. That's all that happens. Really? Yeah. Can I just tell you something one more time before I go? I don't know why I did it, but I love it. I stare at them like... I just stare at something... I don't know. I'm just caught in those chains. I'll stare at them. I don't know. I really like it. It's like a web. I just stare at it. All different parts of it. I really like it. It draws me in. It draws my soul. It draws a lot of attention. Do you like it? It gets messy. I guess. It's pulling me in all the time. As I'm channeling, I'm just staring at different chains, different emblems. I'm going back and forth. You see the healer one right there? A woman gave that to me when I was camping. Her and her husband, I told the story. She was really great. She gave me some money too, up there. They didn't know. They figured out real quick what was going on. But anyways, they lost control of their pop-up. I was doing a video and I had to stop my video. They were about to drop their pop-up. It was rolling down the hill, so I ran over real quick and helped them and moved it over. They gave me some money for helping them, but they started to pay attention that I was leaving during the day and leaving my kids at the campsite and that I was working. They started to watch what was going on. They were in the site next to me. She figured out, and I explained to her what was happening. She finally came. And I told her, you know, she would watch me come home and do these videos and stuff. And I told her, she's like, I want to give this to you. On the back of it, it says healer. She said, you're a healer. I want you to have this. I wore it for quite some time. But, you know, all of them I wore at different times. That green one was enormous. It's wrapped up like you wouldn't believe. I got that to work with Archangel Raphael. That's malachite and real gold. I didn't have actual real gold other than the watch that came later, and you have to have a gold offering. It broke, and I was guided to put some of it here, because that's not always here. So I always had malachite and some gold. And I hooked it up. I turned it in, from one necklace, I turned it into a bracelet, right? I know how to do shit like that, some tweezers and stuff. So I was wearing them as different things. I just wanted to point that out. I really like it. It calls to me. It draws me in. Just the chains. I'll focus on this chain, and then I'll focus on this chain, and then I'll focus on these, and then it's just something. It's called scrying, where you just kind of put your focus on something. It's calling a lot of my focus. Underneath that, I call that. See it? That's my Native American. I call it. It was given to me as just a gift, but it represents to me all the tribes of the nations. Really? Over to the right, this is, I told you that I had to get this for my son. This is a rainbow quartz. He broke it, obviously he used to wear it, but it's rainbow quartz. They're all stones, they all have power. This is the Holy Infant. It's a Catholic belief. Really? Yeah, I had to look it all up. I found that on the streets. Oops, wrong way. Behind the evil eye, I bought that from my daughter, is an emblem. I kept looking for it for months. It's Joan of Arc. And that's hers. And then, this is just plain metal, I believe. I don't remember. I took it and went to have it checked, but I was guided. It's very heavy. That cross was made, every stone, it was made by a woman from the church. She made it for me as a wedding gift. So that black cross is made out of onyx, the actual cross itself. And then she put together the beads. She used to make jewelry. The earrings represent the tribes. Obviously the shells is another thing. Feathers, all of that. All great representations of God. I just really like it. Gives me something, you know, pretty to focus on. Some people put posters on their wall and stare, you know, Eminem on the picture. Your picture on my wall. Do they even do that anymore? Is there a good picture of Eminem to put on my wall? Just got a funny download and I'm gonna leave. What was his name? He's totally dead right now. Give me a second. There's a spirit who's laying very promiscuously. Starts with a B. Not Bruce. Oh God, I can just see him. It was a classic. It was a classic fucking, like, it's worth a lot of money. He was an actor, and I think he's in his underwear and he's laid out on I think he's laid out on an animal skin. God, I can see him and I just can't think of his name. It's a very classic picture I seen once at a gay man's house. He's like, dude, that's the shit right there. I was like, I guess. God, what was his name? It's gonna come to me after I leave here. There's too many spirits, you know, you can see them, but you can't. Names is one of the hardest things. What was your name and time? God, I can't remember. They won't give me the name of the movies he was in or anything. They're showing me the car. Does that help? Not at all. It'll come to me later. Anyways, the spirits, yeah, they're trying to connect with you, and you got to be careful, and don't just, people are trying to connect with spirits and for all the wrong reasons. If you could talk to the angels, which you can do all the time, what would you ask them? Okay, are you listening? What do you want to know from them? How to be happy? That's dumb. There's books and books and books written by God about that. You're offending them by that. Archangel Michael is here to teach you how to speak the truth. How to fight all battles using nothing more than the truth. Gabriel is teaching you how to walk in your purpose and nothing more. Raphael is here to heal your wounded body and your wounded thoughts, your wounded heart, and nothing more. Uriel's there to bring you, strength and nothing more. They only have certain powers given to them by God. To ask them to do more, it means you need to know more of God. He has specific angels that do specific things. If you're looking for blessings, go to Barachel. Really? If you're looking for joy, go for Jophael. If you're looking for cleansing, go for Furiel. You know what I mean? If you're looking for, ascension, you go to Melchizedek. If you're looking for, triumph, you go to Actriel. You know what I mean? They're all God, just different parts of God that, embody just nothing more than that part of God. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to teach you that. I'm going to let you guys go. What do we name this? A spirit in the spirit realm, I suppose. Love you guys.